Life in Iceland, note pants, sex, saunas, and wild hot springs exposed. Iceland is one of those places that will make you want to pack your bags and leave immediately. It's a land where you can experience the wildness of nature, from erupting geysers to vast glaciers, and at the same time, enjoy a cultural experience that is anything but ordinary. It's a place where geothermal hot springs are not just something to marvel at, they are a way of life. But what makes Iceland really stand out is not just its natural beauty, it's the approach to relaxation and social norms that will truly surprise you. So hold on tight as we take a dive into Iceland's cultural heart, where relaxation goes beyond just a warm bath and truly enters the realm of the unexpected. Let's talk about the culture of relaxation in Iceland. If you're used to the classic spa experiences, dim lighting, soft music, scented oils, then Iceland will completely challenge that notion. Here, relaxation takes on a whole new form. Forget what you think you know about being pampered. In Iceland, you're encouraged to embrace your body, nature, and the people around you with an open mind and no clothes in sight. Yes, you heard that right. The Icelandic sauna culture is unlike anything you've probably ever encountered. There's no need for a towel or a bathing suit, just pure, unadulterated relaxation. This is a place where the sauna is considered a social space, a place to unwind and bond with friends, strangers, or even with yourself. The idea of a naked sauna might seem strange, especially if you come from a culture where public nudity is more of a taboo. But in Iceland, it's totally natural. Icelanders are known for their relaxed attitude toward nudity, and saunas are just one example of this laid-back approach. In fact, it's not uncommon to see people chatting and laughing with no clothes on, embracing the warmth of the steam and the heat from the earth. It's a freeing experience where your physical self is unburdened by clothing and your mind is free to simply be. But why is this so common in Iceland? It's not just about comfort or convenience. It's about connection, both with nature and with people. The sauna culture in Iceland is all about stripping away the layers, not just literally, but metaphorically as well. It's about letting go of your societal expectations and enjoying the moment for what it is. You're surrounded by beautiful landscapes, geothermal pools, and the purest air you can breathe. In such an environment, the idea of wearing clothes seems almost unnecessary. Why cover up when you can feel the Earth's warmth in its rawest form? And while this might sound like a strange way to relax for those used to more traditional methods, the sense of freedom it provides is undeniable. It's as if Icelanders have figured out how to combine nature's best features with the most carefree lifestyle imaginable. It's a celebration of the human body in all its natural glory, free from judgment and filled with warmth, not just from the saunas, but also from the people who make this experience so welcoming. But saunas are just one part of the story. The geothermal hot springs in Iceland are another key element of this unique way of life. Imagine soaking in a warm, natural spring with the crisp air of Iceland's highlands around you. These hot springs are not just places to relax, they are a social hub. People come together to chat, laugh, and bond while they soak in the steamy waters. The springs are a communal experience, where everyone is invited to unwind and connect with nature and one another. It's a place where strangers become friends, and where the culture of openness and friendliness reigns supreme. Iceland has hot springs and saunas are places where relaxation, dose and tea just happen at us encouraged. The country's culture revolves around a balance between nature and the social fabric that ties its people together. You're not just visiting a place to unwind. You're becoming part of a tradition that stretches back for generations. The hot springs are seen as a gathering spot, not only for their healing powers, but also for the sense of community they offer. It's a way to step out of the hustle and bustle of everyday life, to take a moment to reconnect with yourself and others in the most natural way possible. And let's not forget the stunning landscapes of Iceland, which play a huge role in this whole experience. Imagine soaking in a hot spring while watching the northern lights dance above you, or relaxing in a sauna with views of volcanoes and glaciers. It's an experience that combines the best of nature with the most innovative ways of embracing it. Icelanders have figured out how to enjoy the land they inhabit, how to respect and appreciate the earth, and how to make it a part of their everyday lives. Now you may be wondering, what about the social norms? What if I'm not comfortable with the idea of public nudity? Well, don't worry. While the sauna culture in Iceland is definitely more relaxed about nudity than most places, it's also a place where everyone is there for the same purpose: relaxation. The focus is on peace, connection, and rejuvenation, not judgment or comparison. Whether you're a seasoned sauna goer or a first-timer, Iceland offers a space where you can embrace the experience at your own pace. No one is there to judge you. You're simply there to enjoy the warmth of the water, the company of friends, and the beauty of the land around them. Iceland's sauna culture and geothermal hot springs offer more than just a way to relax. They provide a window into a lifestyle that embraces nature, freedom, and openness. It's a culture where social norms are relaxed and where people find joy not just in the beauty of their surroundings, but also in the company of others. The next time you find yourself in Iceland, don't just dip your toes into the hot springs, dive in. Embrace the warmth and experience the magic of a place where relaxation is anything but ordinary. By the end of your journey, you might just find yourself in a sauna. No clothes, no worries, and absolutely no regrets. Iceland is a country like no other, sitting between the Arctic Circle and the North Atlantic Ocean, giving it a unique position that creates a blend of icy landscapes, volcanic craters, geysers, and black sand beaches. While you might picture it as a frozen, snowy land, Iceland is anything but predictable. It's a land full of surprises and natural wonders that captivate visitors at every turn. From massive glaciers to bubbling hot springs and dramatic volcanic eruptions, Iceland's fascinating geography makes it a truly magical place. Iceland's terrain is like something from another world. The island is shaped by a combination of volcanic activity, glaciers, and geothermal heat. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes are a common occurrence here, and the landscape reflects that constant activity. The ground is alive, and that raw, untamed energy gives Iceland its unique charm.
Iceland
Has about 130 volcanoes, and many of them are still active, which is one of the reasons the country is so geologically interesting. In fact, some of Iceland's most famous landmarks, such as the Thingvellir National Park, are a direct result of volcanic activity. The land is constantly changing, with new volcanic craters and lava fields appearing, making the country feel dynamic and alive. The influence of volcanic activity isn't limited to just the land, it also impacts the way people live. Iceland is known for its abundant geothermal energy, which is harnessed to heat homes and provide hot water. Geothermal heating is one of the most sustainable and eco-friendly forms of energy, and it's used extensively in Iceland. The use of geothermal energy also powers some of the country's most famous hot springs and geothermal baths, such as the Blue Lagoon, where visitors can soak in warm mineral-rich waters, while surrounded by stunning landscapes. The hot springs are not just a luxury for tourists, they are a vital part of daily life for Icelanders. Many homes and businesses are heated using this renewable energy, and it helps keep the country's carbon footprint low. The weather in Iceland is another aspect that makes the country so fascinating. It can be wildly unpredictable, with rapid shifts in temperature, wind, and light. Due to its location, Iceland experiences long, dark winters and short, bright summers. The weather can change drastically within a single day, so it's always a good idea to be prepared for anything. On one hand, you might experience the crisp, cold winds of the Arctic, and on the other, you could feel the warmth from a volcanic hot spring or a sunny afternoon in Reykjavik. This constant fluctuation adds to the country's charm, making it feel like an adventure at every turn. Despite its rugged terrain and sometimes unpredictable weather, Iceland is a place of great beauty and wonder. The island is dotted with glaciers, some of the largest in Europe, which stretch across vast areas of land. These glaciers, like Vatnajökull, are not only stunning to look at, but also offer opportunities for adventure. You can take a guided glacier hike, explore ice caves, or even try your hand at ice climbing. Iceland's glaciers also feed the country's many rivers, which flow through dramatic valleys and lead to powerful waterfalls such as Gullfoss, and these waterfalls, with their thunderous roars and misty sprays, are some of Iceland's most iconic natural features and are a must-see for anyone visiting the country. In addition to glaciers and volcanoes, Iceland is home to one of the most unique landscapes you'll ever see: black sand beaches. These beaches, made of volcanic ash, have a stark beauty that's unlike anything you'll find elsewhere in the world. The black sand stretches for miles, and when combined with the dramatic sea cliffs and crashing waves, it creates a truly mesmerizing scene. One of the most famous black sand beaches is Reynisfara, located on the southern coast of the island. Here you can see the towering basalt columns that rise out of the ocean and the striking Reynisfjörður sea stacks that stand as silent sentinels on the horizon. Iceland's geography also plays a key role in its hot springs and saunas, which are a huge part of the country's culture. The volcanic activity and geothermal heat create an ideal environment for these natural hot springs to thrive. Icelanders have been using the geothermal waters for centuries, not only for relaxation, but also for their health benefits. There are many hot springs and geothermal pools around the country, ranging from small hidden gems to large world-famous spas. The Blue Lagoon, for example, is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Iceland. Its warm, silica-rich waters are believed to have healing properties. And the spa offers visitors the chance to relax in these soothing waters while surrounded by a dramatic volcanic landscape. Reykjavik, Iceland's capital city, is home to roughly 30% of the country's population, and it's a hub of culture, history, and modern life. Despite being located in a country known for its rugged landscapes, Reykjavik is a vibrant city with a rich art scene, excellent restaurants, and a laid-back atmosphere. It's a place where you can enjoy a geothermal-powered hot tub on a chilly day, or take a walk along the waterfront and see the northern lights dance in the sky. The city is also a great base for exploring the rest of the country. It's close to many of Iceland's top attractions, including the Golden Circle, Thingvellir National Park, and the famous Gullfoss waterfall. The diversity of landscapes in Iceland is truly staggering. In just a short drive, you can go from lush green valleys to barren lava fields, from towering mountains to tranquil beaches. The country is a nature lover's paradise, with endless opportunities for hiking, sightseeing, and outdoor adventures. But beyond its stunning landscapes, Iceland is also a place where the forces of nature and human ingenuity come together in beautiful harmony. The use of geothermal energy to heat homes, the preservation of hot springs, and the sustainable way in which Icelanders interact with their environment all show how this small island has mastered the art of living with nature. Iceland is a country where the raw power of nature meets the beauty of the earth in ways that are hard to put into words. Its volcanoes, glaciers, hot springs, and black sand beaches create a landscape that is both wild and inviting. The country's unique position between the Arctic Circle and the North Atlantic Ocean gives it a special charm. Its dynamic weather, geothermal heat, and volcanic activity make it a place like no other. Whether you're exploring Reykjavik's vibrant city life or hiking across glaciers, Iceland is a land of endless adventure, where the forces of nature are always at play and every corner offers a new surprise. When you find yourself in Iceland, there's one thing you will need to leave behind before stepping into the country's unique sauna culture: your modesty. Yes, you read that right. In Iceland, getting naked in a sauna is completely normal and expected. But it's not just about relaxing and sweating away your worries, it's about something much deeper: social connection. Icelanders have a relaxed approach to nudity, and their sauna culture reflects that. It's all about enjoying the moment, engaging with others, and connecting with the warmth of the space in more ways than one. In Iceland, saunas are far more than a private retreat for individual relaxation. They are places where the whole community can gather, chat, and unwind together. The awkward silence you might be used to in saunas back home, not in Iceland. Here, saunas are lively, social hubs. Whether it's a group of friends, family, or strangers, everyone is welcome to join in the conversations that flow freely. There's a sense of camaraderie that emerges when you're all in the same boat, literally, since you'll likely be soaking in hot water or relaxing in a sauna together, completely exposed. People talk about everything and anything, from the weather to personal stories. It's a place where Icelanders relax, enjoy each other's company, and take a break from the stress of daily life. It's important to understand that the culture of sauna and hot spring bathing in Iceland is rooted in the country, as deep respect for nature and the need for relaxation. Icelanders see these communal spaces as integral to their well-being. They believe that a good soak in the hot springs or a time spent in the sauna, just good for the body, also beneficial for the mind and the spirit. This communal experience of being in the sauna or hot spring allows people to bond, relax, and embrace a sense of peacefulness. It's not about private moments of solitude, but shared experiences that bring people together. Locals view nudity in public bathing spaces as a completely natural and non-judgmental thing. There's no shame in being naked in the sauna or a hot spring. It's not sexualized, and it's certainly not considered odd or uncomfortable. In fact, it's the norm. Icelanders take pride in their open-minded approach to nudity. It's a cultural norm that everyone respects, from the youngest to the oldest, whether you're a local or a tourist. You will quickly realize that being naked in a sauna doesn't raise any eyebrows at us, just part of the experience. Icelanders have no hang-ups about personal space in these public bathing scenarios. There's no need for modesty, and no one is looking at you any differently because you're naked. It's about embracing your natural self and enjoying the relaxing atmosphere. Now, while this might sound daunting at first, Icelanders have a wonderful sense of humor about the whole thing. It's not uncommon to hear stories or jokes about the quirks of sauna etiquette. One local might joke about the sauna dance, where people awkwardly try to figure out who's going to sit where in the small space. Or you might hear about the time someone accidentally spilled their water bottle on a fellow sauna goer, only to both burst into laughter. The sauna culture isn't just about relaxation. It's about letting go of your formalities and enjoying the moment with others. One particularly funny moment shared by locals involves sitting in a sauna with someone you may not know at all and yet will both act as if you've been friends for years. The shared warmth of the sauna and the relaxed atmosphere tend to break down any social barriers. You might find yourself chatting with someone who, under normal circumstances, you'd never speak to, and yet, in that sauna, you're instant friends. Humor also plays a big part in the overall sauna experience. When you're all hot, sweaty, and relaxed, it's easy to laugh at the little things. Locals will often tell stories of how they've accidentally ended up in a sauna with their worst enemy, only for both of them to act as though nothing is out of the ordinary. Ever been to a sauna where your worst enemy is sitting next to you, yet you both act like best friends? One local might ask with a smile. The communal nature of Icelandic saunas makes them a place where you can share the most bizarre and humorous situations without any judgment. The overall attitude toward personal space is also very relaxed. When it comes to saunas or hot springs, you quickly realize that people don't mind a bit of closeness. There's no sense of personal invasion. And everyone seems to understand that the shared experience is more important than individual space. This is a big contrast to many cultures where personal space is highly valued. In Iceland, the focus is on the collective experience, and the sauna is a place where you leave your personal reservations at the door. There is also an understanding that everyone in the sauna is there for the same reason, to relax and distress. Because of this, Icelanders have a remarkable ability to be present with others, whether they're in the sauna with a group of close friends or complete strangers. In fact, there's a sense of equality that comes with being in the sauna. Whether you're a local or a tourist, everyone is treated the same, and the shared experience brings people together in a way that's hard to replicate anywhere else. It's an environment that fosters a feeling of openness, acceptance, and warmth. The sauna culture isn't just about getting naked it's about shedding the burdens of the outside world and embracing a more laid-back, communal way of life. Land sauna culture also plays an important role in helping people unwind from the demands of everyday life. With long, dark winters and often unpredictable weather, the sauna offers a place of warmth and refuge. Icelanders turn to their saunas, not just for relaxation, but also for socialization, connection, and mental clarity. The sauna is a place where people can escape the stresses of work, family, and everything else, and just enjoy being in the moment. Iceland's sauna and hot spring culture is much more than just a way to relax it. It's a deeply ingrained part of the Icelandic way of life. The saunas are spaces where people can connect, laugh, share, and let go of their worries. The relaxed attitude toward nudity and personal space makes it a welcoming and inclusive experience for all. Whether you're sitting in a sauna with a group of strangers or sharing a hot spring with new friends, Iceland's sauna culture is a reminder that sometimes the best way to relax is to strip away your inhibitions, embrace the warmth, and enjoy the company of others. Iceland is often known for its stunning landscapes, vast glaciers, and unique volcanic activity. But there's another side to Icelandic culture that some travelers find intriguing that ESC, the wild world of Icelandic sex saunas. If you think Iceland's sauna culture is already wild enough, wait until you hear about these places. They're part of the country's more relaxed, open-minded approach to intimacy and freedom of expression. And yes, these places cater to adults, but they are far from what most people might expect. First things first, let us get this out of the way. Icelandic sex saunas are not just about what the name suggests. While they do cater to adults seeking a deeper connection, they are a unique part of Iceland's social fabric and reflect the country's broader attitude towards sex and relationships. These spaces are places where people can go to be themselves, explore their desires, and embrace an open, non-judgmental environment. They're designed to offer a space where people can freely express themselves, whether that's through relaxation, conversation, or physical connection without the pressure or expectations often found in other cultures. So what exactly are Icelandic sex saunas? Well, not exactly what you might picture when you hear the words sex and sauna together. Sure, they do have hot saunas and rooms where adults can meet others, but these places are not the kind of steamy, over-the-top environments you might expect. Instead, think of them as spaces where people can meet like-minded individuals, enjoy a relaxed atmosphere, and explore their sexuality in a consensual and respectful way. They're not chaotic or overly sexualized. Rather, they focus on providing a safe and welcoming environment where people can engage in consensual experiences that they feel comfortable with. What really sets these places apart is the way they fit into the broader Icelandic approach to sex and intimacy. In Iceland, people have a much more open and nonchalant view of sex compared to other cultures. There is a level of comfort and understanding about the subject that you just don't see everywhere else. This openness comes from the country's relaxed attitude toward privacy and personal boundaries. The Icelandic people have no problem talking openly about relationships, desires, and even sex. It's all part of a broader cultural attitude that values individual freedom, honesty, and respect for one another. Of course, this might be a bit shocking for travelers who come from cultures where discussing sex is more taboo or hidden away. One traveler recounts the time they accidentally stumbled into one of Iceland's sex saunas, thinking it was just a regular sauna. It was just looking for a relaxing soak. But as soon as I walked in, I realized something was off. The traveler laughs. The atmosphere was different, and everyone was very relaxed. But I couldn't help feeling like I had walked into the wrong place. It was until they noticed the more adult-friendly atmosphere and understood the purpose of the sauna that they realized where they were. They had walked into a space where adults go to explore relationships, desires, and connections in a respectful and consensual environment. But despite the initial surprise, the traveler was impressed by how normal and accepting the space was. Once I understood what it was about, I felt oddly at ease. People were friendly, and it wasn't as awkward as I thought it would be. Icelanders have this amazing ability to make you feel comfortable, no matter where you are or who you're with, they said. This experience highlights one of the key elements of Icelandic culture, the ability to be open and relaxed about things that might make people feel uncomfortable in other parts of the world. What's interesting about Icelandic sex saunas is that they're not just about physical interaction. These spaces also foster an environment for emotional connection and personal exploration. Many visitors to these saunas come not only to relax, but also to meet others with similar interests and desires. It's a place where people can have honest conversations, share experiences, and form connections, whether they lead to something romantic, physical, or just a shared understanding. The focus is on mutual respect, freedom of choice, and ensuring that everyone feels safe and comfortable. Icelanders are proud of their open-mindedness when it comes to sex and relationships. In fact, it's not uncommon to see Icelandic locals discussing sex openly in public, whether in casual conversation or even in the media. There's a general understanding that sex, like any other part of life, is something to be celebrated and respected. This openness extends beyond the sex saunas and into everyday life, where relationships are often less conventional and more fluid. For Icelanders, the boundaries that many cultures place around sex and intimacy don't apply. It's all about finding what makes you happy and feeling comfortable with who you are and who you choose to connect with. This more relaxed attitude towards sex isn't just limited to the sex saunas. It's woven into the fabric of Icelandic life, where personal freedom and individual rights are highly valued. Icelanders don't feel the need to hide their desires or their relationships. Instead, they embrace them with pride and a sense of humor. It's not unusual to hear people laughing and joking about sexual topics. And the ability to have an open conversation about such matters is something that many Icelanders see as a mark of maturity and emotional intelligence. The fun doesn't stop there. For some visitors, the idea of Icelandic sex saunas may feel strange or even a little intimidating at first. But many people find that once they step into the environment and experience it firsthand, the discomfort fades away. In these spaces, people are not just naked physically, but emotionally and socially as well. The atmosphere encourages honesty, freedom, and connection without judgment. The whole experience is grounded in respect for others and for personal boundaries, which is a core value in Icelandic culture. Iceland's sex saunas offer a unique glimpse into the country's open-minded and relaxed approach to sex, relationships, and intimacy. They are a safe, consensual space where adults can connect, explore, and relax in an environment that fosters openness and understanding. Icelanders' nonchalant attitude towards sex is refreshing and liberating for many visitors. It's offering an opportunity to experience something truly different from what they might be used to in their own countries. For travelers who are ready to embrace Iceland's free-spirited culture, the sex saunas offer a memorable experience that reflects the country's commitment to personal freedom and respectful connections. Iceland is a land of extremes where fire and ice meet, and the natural beauty of the landscape will take your breath away. Among the many wonders of this incredible island, its hot springs stand out as some of the most special and iconic features. These hot springs aren't just places to relax, they're an experience, a journey into nature's own spa. Imagine soaking in a pool of naturally heated water that comes directly from the earth below, all while surrounded by some of the most stunning and dramatic scenery you'll ever see. Iceland's hot springs are legendary, and for good reason. They offer a combination of natural beauty, geothermal energy, and the kind of relaxation you can't find anywhere else. What makes these hot springs so extraordinary? Well, first of all, they're completely natural. The water in Iceland's hot springs is heated by the Earth's geothermal energy, which comes from the active volcanic activity beneath the surface. This makes the hot springs in Iceland not only an incredible natural wonder, but also a symbol of the country's unique position in the world right on top of two tectonic plates. The heat from below creates pools of water that are perfect for soaking and relaxing. The temperature of these springs can range from a warm bath to almost scalding, depending on the location. It's the perfect way to relax after a long day of hiking, sightseeing, or even just taking in the stunning surroundings. What really sets Iceland's hot springs apart from others is the incredible scenery that surrounds them. Imagine sitting in a hot spring while the steam rises all around you. Looking out over snow-covered hills or volcanic craters, the landscape is otherworldly rivers of steaming water winding through fields of black lava, rolling hills covered in moss, and towering mountains in the distance. The beauty of the natural world adds another layer of relaxation to the experience. It's not just the hot water that soothes your body, it's the peace that comes from being surrounded by such unspoiled, majestic scenery. Whether you're soaking in a well-known hot spring like the Blue Lagoon or a more remote hidden gem, the views are something you won't soon forget. So why are these hot springs so famous? Aside from the fact that they're naturally heated, they're also believed to have therapeutic benefits. The minerals in the water can help soothe sore muscles, improve circulation, and even promote healthier skin. For centuries, Icelanders have used these hot springs for their healing properties, and today, many people visit them not only for the relaxation, but for the health benefits as well. It's a perfect combination of nature's power and human well-being. If you're lucky enough to visit one of the country's many natural hot springs, you'll quickly understand why they're such a beloved part of Icelandic culture. Now, while the natural beauty and health benefits of Iceland's hot springs are enough to draw anyone in, there's another element to the experience that you can't ignore: the nakedness factor. Yes, you read that correctly. Many of Iceland's hot springs, swimsuits are a no-go. Some places don't even allow you to wear a towel. This might sound strange at first, but it's actually a key part of the experience. In Iceland, Nudity is not seen as something to be ashamed of, especially when it comes to bathing, simply a natural part of life here. The attitude toward nudity in public spaces is very relaxed, and it's something that Icelanders take in stride. For visitors, this can be a bit of a shock at first. The idea of stripping down in front of strangers may make some people feel uncomfortable, but once you experience it, you'll see that it's no big deal. Everyone is there for the same purpose: to relax and enjoy the healing waters. The relaxed attitude toward nudity in Icelandic hot springs is also about getting closer to nature. It's about being in a space where your body can fully connect with the earth, with the water, and with the elements around you. It's liberating in a way, leaving your clothes behind and fully embracing the natural environment around you. And trust me, after a few minutes in the warm, soothing water, you'll realize that it's actually much more relaxing to leave your clothes behind and just enjoy the experience. For many visitors, the thought of being naked in front of strangers can seem intimidating. But one of the funny things about Icelandic hot springs is that the experience quickly becomes a known issue. Once you're in the water and surrounded by the beautiful scenery, any self-consciousness melts away. People are too busy enjoying the warmth of the water and the beauty of the surroundings to care about who's next to them. And besides, everyone else is in the same boat. There's a sense of camaraderie that comes from sharing such a unique experience with others. It's a reminder that sometimes the best way to relax is to leave behind your inhibitions and embrace the moment. The whole experience of being in a hot spring in Iceland is about connection to nature, to the water, and even to the people around you. The warm, mineral-rich water soothes your body and mind. The stunning surroundings bring a sense of peace and tranquility. It's a truly unique experience, and one that leaves a lasting impression. Whether you're visiting a famous spot like the Blue Lagoon, where the water is a milky blue and the steam rises in delicate tendrils, or a smaller, less visited spring tucked away in a remote part of the country, you'll feel the magic of Iceland's hot springs. In addition to the relaxation and beauty, there's something about the Icelandic hot springs that invites introspection. Maybe it's the isolation of the landscape, or the feeling of being enveloped in warm water. But there's a quiet serenity that comes with soaking in one of these natural pools. It's a chance to escape from the noise of the world and focus on yourself for a moment. The sense of calm and peace you feel in the hot spring is something that stays with you long after you leave. Iceland's hot springs are special for so many reasons: the natural geothermal heating, stunning scenery, the therapeutic benefits, and the relaxed attitude toward nudity. But what makes them truly unforgettable is the sense of connection they offer. Whether you're soaking in a famous hot spring or discovering a hidden gem, you will experience a moment of pure relaxation and tranquility that you can't find anywhere else. And in true Icelandic style, you might just find yourself leaving your clothes behind and embracing the natural surroundings, realizing that sometimes the best way to relax is to be completely in tune with the world around you. In many parts of the world, the idea of public nudity is often seen as something that should be hidden away or avoided. People grow up with certain cultural norms that encourage modesty and a sense of privacy about their bodies. But in Iceland, this isn't the case. Here, public nudity is seen as a natural, freeing experience. And it's much more about relaxation and self-connection than it is about anything sexual. Icelanders have a very relaxed attitude toward nudity, and this is evident in many aspects of their lives, from hot springs to saunas and even public beaches. In fact, it's all about letting go of social constraints and embracing the body for what it is, something that is perfectly normal, rather than something to hide or be ashamed of. The first time I experienced Iceland's relaxed approach to nudity was when I visited one of the country's famous hot springs. Initially, I was a little nervous about what to expect. I had heard stories of how Icelanders have no problem with being naked in public spaces. But like many people, I had been raised in a culture that viewed nudity as something private. As I arrived at the hot spring, I found myself feeling slightly self-conscious. However, once I stepped into the water, all that hesitation melted away. Everyone around me was there for the same reason: to relax and enjoy the warmth of the water. No one was judging anyone else, and the atmosphere felt completely natural. It wasn't about showing off or being seen in a certain way. It was just about enjoying the moment. What struck me the most was the ease with which people embraced their nudity. There was no awkwardness, no glances or uncomfortable silence, just a sense of peace and acceptance. I quickly realized that the idea of being naked in such a public space wasn't weird or inappropriate. It was liberating. It allowed me to focus on the calming waters, the fresh air, and the beauty of the surroundings without worrying about what others might think. Everyone was simply enjoying themselves and connecting with nature, and it made me feel more connected to my own body as well. This experience really helped me understand how different Iceland's view on nudity is from more conservative cultures. In many countries, nudity is often viewed with shame or guilt, and there are strict rules around what's acceptable in public. The concept of being naked in front of others can make people feel uneasy, and it's typically reserved for private spaces like the home or the changing room at the gym. But in Iceland, things are different. It's not seen as inappropriate or sexual. Rather, it's a way of reconnecting with yourself and the environment around you. Iceland's approach to nudity can be linked to the country's broader cultural values, which emphasize openness, respect, and a connection to nature. Icelanders don't view their bodies as something to be ashamed of. Instead, they see them as part of the natural world, just like the rocks, rivers, and trees around them. This view is deeply ingrained in the country's history and way of life. Iceland is a small island with a population that values honesty, simplicity, and a strong bond to the land. There's no room for unnecessary social pressures about how people should look or behave, and that extends to attitudes about the human body. The psychology behind Iceland's comfortable relationship with nudity has a lot to do with the country's cultural norms and values. In Iceland, people are taught from a young age to accept their bodies and to be confident in their own skin. There's a strong emphasis on body positivity and self-respect. Rather than being taught to hide or feel embarrassed about their bodies, Icelanders are encouraged to embrace their natural forms. This kind of thinking fosters a sense of self-confidence that is reflected in the way they view nudity. For many Icelanders, there's simply no need for shame or discomfort when it comes to being naked. It's just a part of life, like breathing or walking. Another aspect of Iceland's relaxed attitude toward nudity is the role that natural hot springs play in the culture. Iceland is known for its geothermal energy, and the many hot springs and saunas that dot the landscape are not just places to relax. They are also places to socialize and unwind. In these public bathing areas, everyone is expected to shower and change into swimsuits or be completely naked before entering the water. It's simply the norm, and no one thinks twice about it. The focus is on relaxation and community, not on body image or modesty. Icelanders see their time in the hot springs as a chance to connect with themselves, nature, and others without the barriers that clothing can sometimes create. This cultural openness also promotes a sense of equality, because everyone is treated the same, regardless of body type, size, or appearance. There is a greater sense of community and less judgment in these spaces. It's not about how you look, it's about being present and sharing in a peaceful, natural experience. In Icelandic saunas and hot springs, it's common to chat with strangers, form connections, and enjoy the shared experience. This sense of equality and openness extends beyond public bathing and reflects the broader values of Icelandic society. Interestingly, Icelandic nudity isn't limited to just hot springs and saunas. The country's beaches, particularly in the warmer months, also reflect this laid-back approach to nudity. In Iceland, you might find people enjoying the sun or swimming without any concern for modesty. For Icelanders, being comfortable in one's own skin is a way of life, not something to be hidden or reserved for private moments. Comparing this to more conservative cultures, where people might feel a strong sense of shame about their bodies or nudity, Iceland's attitude is refreshing. In many countries, body image can be a source of anxiety, and nudity is often seen as taboo or something to be ashamed of. In Iceland, however, the focus is on embracing the body, flaws and all, and treating others with respect, no matter what their appearance may be. This creates a sense of body positivity that is deeply ingrained in Icelandic culture and that influences many aspects of daily life. This positive approach to nudity also encourages people to be more comfortable with their own bodies, which can have a profound effect on mental well-being. By removing the shame and awkwardness surrounding nudity, Icelanders are able to enjoy life without constantly worrying about their appearance or how others perceive them. This kind of freedom can be liberating for many people, especially those who come from cultures where nudity is linked to shame or guilt. Iceland's relaxed and open attitude toward public nudity is a reflection of the country's broader values of body positivity, self-confidence, and connection with nature. Icelanders are taught from an early age to embrace their natural selves. And this philosophy permeates many aspects of life, from hot springs to public beaches. For visitors, the experience of being in a culture where nudity is seen as a natural, freeing act can be a transformative one. It's a reminder that our bodies don't need to be hidden or shamed, but rather embraced and celebrated. Iceland's approach to nudity shows us that true freedom comes from accepting ourselves and each other for who we are, without judgment or fear. Iceland is a place where the sense of belonging isn't about fitting in with everyone else. Instead, it's about being accepted for who you truly are, quirks and all. The social norms in Iceland are built around the idea of personal freedom and self-expression. And it's something that locals live by every day. You'll quickly realize that Icelanders don't care about how you look, what you wear, or what habits you have. What matters to them is whether you are genuine and true to yourself. It's this unspoken rule: be yourself, no matter how weird, that makes Iceland such a welcoming and inclusive place. One of the most striking things about Iceland's social landscape is the lack of pressure to conform. In many countries, there are certain expectations about how people should behave, how they should dress, or what they should talk about in social situations. But in Iceland, things are different. People don't feel the need to follow a set of rules about what is considered normal. Whether you're quirky, shy, loud, or reserved, it doesn't matter. People will accept you for who you are. There's an openness and tolerance that is refreshing, especially if you're from a place where social norms are more rigid. I had my own experience of Iceland's laid-back social interactions during my first trip there. I remember meeting a local in Reykjavik who immediately made me feel welcome despite the fact that we didn't know each other. They were extremely friendly. But what stood out to me the most was how effortlessly they accepted my weird habits. I was struggling to find a place to eat and had mentioned that I couldn't teety-eyed between trying traditional Icelandic food or sticking with something more familiar. Without hesitation, the locals suggested we go to a restaurant that served a blend of both, making sure to add that there was no wrong choice in Iceland. It felt so different from my experience back home, where people are often quick to judge or pressure others into making a decision that fits within a certain social standard. In Iceland, I felt that I could be myself without having to worry about what anyone else thought. The truth is, Icelanders are known for being very direct and honest, but it's all done in a way that respects individuality. There's no pretense or false politeness here. If someone doesn't agree with you, they'll tell you, but they'll do so respectfully. It's this kind of straightforwardness that helps to foster an environment where everyone feels free to be themselves. You'll find that conversations in Iceland are less about fitting into a social mold and more about exchanging ideas, interests, and experiences in a real and authentic way. Contrast this with more rigid cultures, where people might feel the need to act a certain way in social settings, or where expectations about behavior can be stifling. In some places, there's a lot of pressure to follow certain norms, whether it's how to dress, what to say, or even what to believe. People might be hesitant to speak their minds or express themselves because they fear being judged or excluded. In these cultures, fitting in can sometimes feel more important than being true to who you really are. In Iceland, though, this isn't the case. There's a general understanding that people are different, and that's not only accepted but celebrated. You'll find that locals don't shy away from the things that make them unique. Whether it's their choice of fashion, their style of humor, or even their hobbies, everyone's individuality is embraced. It's a place where being yourself is the norm, not the exception. This open-mindedness also extends to the way people interact with one another. In Iceland, there's a genuine sense of inclusivity. Whether you're at a cafe, a pub, or a local event, it's common for people to strike up conversations with strangers. It's not just small talk, people really engage with one another. They ask questions, share opinions, and discuss topics that matter to them, all while respecting each other's differences. It's not about trying to impress anyone or fitting into a specific category. It's about having an honest conversation and building connections based on who you really are. One of the things I noticed during my visit was how Icelanders handle small social gatherings. There's no pressure to be on, or to perform in any way. If you're invited to someone's home or a social event, you're not expected to act a certain way or put on a facade. People gather to relax, have fun, and be themselves. The idea of trying to impress others or conforming to social expectations just doesn't exist. And if you do something a little quirky or unexpected, no one will bat an eye. Chances are they'll laugh along with you. The lack of judgment makes social interactions feel incredibly natural and unforced. The relaxed social dynamics in Iceland also allow people to be more creative and open-minded. For example, the local arts and music scenes are thriving. It's partly because people feel free to express themselves without the fear of being criticized or rejected. Icelanders have a strong sense of pride in their cultural identity, but this doesn't mean they stick rigidly to tradition. Instead, they embrace new ideas and artistic expressions, always encouraging each other to try something different or unconventional. Another important aspect of Iceland's social landscape is its inclusive attitude toward different lifestyles, beliefs, and backgrounds. Icelanders are generally very open-minded when it comes to diversity, and this is reflected in the way they interact with one another. There's a sense of acceptance for people from all walks of life, and this creates a supportive and welcoming environment. Whether you're from another country, have a unique lifestyle, or simply don't conform to mainstream ideas, you'll find that people in Iceland are willing to listen and appreciate your perspective. Iceland's social norms make it a place where everyone can feel at home, not because they conform to the same standards, but because they're accepted for who they are. The country says, relaxed and open approach. 2. Social interactions creates a welcoming environment where individuality is celebrated, and no one has to hide their true selves. Whether you're engaging in a casual conversation, attending a social event, or simply enjoying a coffee at a cafe, you'll find that in Iceland, being different is not just accepted, it's encouraged. This is what makes Iceland such a unique and vibrant society, where people can truly live authentically without fear of judgment. Iceland is often described as a land of natural beauty, with its stunning glaciers, volcanoes, and hot springs. But it also has a reputation for being one of the most expensive countries in Europe. It's a common assumption that visiting Iceland means burning a hole in your wallet, but is that really the case? While it's true that certain things like alcohol and dining out can cost a bit more than what you might expect in other countries, there are also plenty of ways to enjoy Iceland without breaking the bank. In fact, with a little planning and the right choices, you can experience the best of Iceland without spending a fortune. When comparing the cost of living in Iceland to other European countries, it's clear that Iceland is more expensive than some places, but not necessarily the priciest. In cities like Paris or Zurich, for example, the cost of living can be just as high, if not higher, especially when it comes to dining, transportation, and accommodations. Iceland's high cost of living is partly due to its location, as many goods need to be imported, which adds to the price. However, there are also ways to save money in Iceland, especially if you stick to the basics and make some smart choices. One of the major costs in Iceland is food, particularly when eating out. Restaurants in Reykjavik and other tourist-heavy areas can have high prices, especially for a meal in a sit-down restaurant. But there are plenty of affordable options if you're willing to explore the local food scene. Street food, for example, is a great way to enjoy delicious Icelandic flavors without spending too much. You can find local food trucks and markets offering tasty dishes, such as the famous Icelandic hot dogs, for a fraction of the price of a sit-down meal. These food options are often quick, satisfying, and much more budget-friendly. In addition to street food, Iceland also has some affordable local groceries, especially if you shop at Icelandic supermarkets like Bonus, or the stores offer a wide variety of local products, from fresh produce to packaged goods, and prices can be much lower than dining out. You can stock up on snacks, bread, and even Icelandic dairy products like skyr to save money on meals. If you're staying in a place with a kitchen, cooking your own meals can significantly lower your expenses, while still allowing you to enjoy the local flavors. During my trip to Iceland, I was initially worried about the high cost of living. I'd heard all the warnings about how expensive it could be, especially when it came to food and activities. However, I found an awesome local market where I could get delicious street food for under $10. It was such a pleasant surprise. The market had a variety of food trucks offering local favorites like Icelandic hot dogs and fish dishes, and everything was super affordable. It was a great way to try authentic Icelandic food without having to spend a lot of money. This experience really opened my eyes to how, with a little bit of effort, it's possible to enjoy Iceland on a budget. Another area where you can save money is on activities. While there are some expensive tours and excursions available in Iceland, many of the country's natural attractions are free to visit. For example, you can explore the Golden Circle, which includes the famous Gullfoss waterfall, Thingvellir National Park, and the Geysir Geothermal area, all of which are free to visit. These natural wonders are a must-see and can easily be enjoyed without spending a dime. If you're into hiking, Iceland has an abundance of scenic trails that you can explore for free, offering breathtaking views of mountains, glaciers, and lava fields. Of course, there are also paid activities that are well worth the money if you're looking for a unique experience, such as visiting the Blue Lagoon or taking a guided tour to see the Northern Lights. While these activities may seem pricey, they are iconic experiences that many visitors find memorable and worthwhile. Just be sure to plan ahead and prioritize what's most important to you, as there are so many free or low-cost options to balance out the more expensive ones. When it comes to transportation, Iceland can be a little tricky. Renting a car is one of the best ways to get around and explore the island at your own pace, but it can be expensive. If you're traveling on a budget, consider using public transportation or joining group tours, which can often be more affordable. In Reykjavik, there are also bike rental services, which provide an eco-friendly and cost-effective way to get around the city. If you're traveling in a group, splitting the cost of a rental car can also make it more affordable. Icelandic accommodation can also be on the pricier side, especially in Reykjavik. However, there are plenty of budget-friendly options if you're willing to step away from the typical tourist hotels. Hostels, guest houses, and Airbnbs are all affordable alternatives, and many of them offer clean and comfortable rooms at a fraction of the price of a hotel. If you're traveling in the summer, camping is another option to consider, as Iceland has many beautiful campsites that are budget-friendly and offer a great way to experience the country's stunning landscapes. While it's true that Iceland can be expensive in certain areas, it's also a country that offers plenty of opportunities to save money. By being strategic about where you eat, how you travel, and which activities you prioritize, it's possible to enjoy all that Iceland has to offer without spending a fortune. With some planning and flexibility, you can experience the beauty, culture, and adventure of Iceland while keeping your expenses in check. Iceland's cost of living is higher than some other European countries, but it doesn't have to break the bank. There are many affordable options for food, activities, and accommodation. And with a little bit of research and smart choices, you can enjoy everything this beautiful country has to offer without spending more than necessary. Whether it's enjoying delicious street food, hiking through stunning landscapes, or visiting free natural attractions, Iceland offers plenty of opportunities for budget-conscious travelers to make the most of their visit. Iceland is a place where nature takes center stage, offering some of the most stunning and jaw-dropping landscapes you'll ever see. While people often talk about Iceland's famous hot springs and saunas, the real magic of the country lies in its natural beauty. From powerful waterfalls like Gullfoss to vast glaciers that seem to stretch on forever, Iceland truly feels like a paradise for anyone who loves the outdoors and the beauty of untouched landscapes. It's a country where nature is wild, untamed, and stunningly beautiful, and every corner offers something new and breathtaking to explore. One of the most iconic natural wonders of Iceland is its waterfalls. Gullfoss, one of the most famous, is a must-see for anyone visiting the country. It's a massive waterfall that drops into a deep canyon, creating a mist that often forms beautiful rainbows in the sunlight. The sheer power of the water is awe-inspiring, and standing near it gives you a true sense of nature's strength. But Iceland has many more waterfalls, each with its own unique charm. It's another stunning waterfall that you can walk right up to, and the view from the base is absolutely magnificent. There's something mesmerizing about watching the water cascade down, surrounded by the vast green landscapes that Iceland is known for. But Iceland's natural wonders don't stop with waterfalls. The country is home to glaciers that are so large and expansive they seem to go on forever. Vatnajökull, one of the largest glaciers in Europe, is a prime example. It's a breathtaking sight, and you can take guided tours to explore its ice caves and crevasses, which are an experience like no other. The ice caves are crystal clear and glowing with an ethereal blue light, making them feel like something straight out of a fairy tale. The vastness of these glaciers is hard to put into words, and seeing them up close is an unforgettable experience that truly makes you feel like a small part of the world. Of course, Iceland is famous for its geothermal features, like the Blue Lagoon and its many hot springs. But the country also offers a variety of other striking natural wonders that shouldn't be missed. The black sand beaches of Vik are one of Iceland's hidden gems. These beaches, made from volcanic ash, stretch for miles, and their stark contrast against the powerful waves of the Atlantic Ocean is simply breathtaking. The beaches are a peaceful place to walk, and if you're lucky, you might even spot puffins nesting on the nearby cliffs. The black sand and dramatic rock formations create a scene that feels completely different from any other beach you've ever seen, and it's definitely worth the visit. Iceland's volcanic landscapes are also something to behold. The country sits on top of two tectonic plates, which gives it a unique geological history. You'll find volcanic craters, lava fields, and active volcanoes all across the island. One of the most interesting places to visit is the area around Hekla, one of Iceland's most active volcanoes. The landscape here is shaped by past eruptions, with fields of black lava rocks and rugged terrain that seems to stretch on forever. It's an otherworldly place, and it offers an exciting glimpse into the volcanic power that has shaped Iceland's landscape for centuries. While many visitors flock to the well-known tourist spots, some of Iceland's most stunning natural wonders are tucked away in more remote areas. The ice caves of Vatnajökull are one such hidden gem. These caves are only accessible in the winter months, when the ice is stable enough for exploration. They offer an unforgettable experience. The caves are made of clear blue ice that looks almost like glass, and the light inside is simply magical. If you're up for an adventure, visiting these caves is a must. Another hidden wonder is the geothermal area of Landmannalaugar. This remote spot, located in the highlands of Iceland, is known for its colorful rhyolite mountains and hot springs. The landscape here is like something out of a dream, with vibrant hues of red, orange, and green covering the mountainsides. It's a great spot for hiking and exploring, and the hot springs are perfect for soaking after a long day on the trails. The area is relatively untouched, which makes it feel even more special and peaceful. Now Iceland's natural beauty isn't just about its stunning landscapes, it's also about the stories and legends that are woven into the fabric of the country. One of the most famous stories involves Iceland's elves, or hidden people as they're called. According to local beliefs, elves live in the rocks and hills of Iceland. And there are even certain places in the country that are considered elf villages. Some Icelanders still believe in these mystical beings, and it's not uncommon for people to be careful when building or digging in areas where elves are thought to reside. This belief is part of Iceland's rich folklore and serves as a reminder not to take life too seriously. It's a playful part of the culture that adds an element of magic and mystery to the already enchanting landscape. In fact, locals often joke about how the elves might be watching them as they go about their daily lives. Some people believe that if you disturb the elves' homes, bad luck will follow, while others think that the hidden people are simply there to remind everyone to respect nature. Whatever you believe, these stories add a fun layer of mystique to the already stunning natural surroundings. It's Iceland's way of making sure you don't forget that there is more to life than just the physical world, it is also about imagination, connection, and the magic of the land. Iceland's natural wonders are not just visually stunning, they're also a part of the country's soul. The land is full of history, stories, and legends that make it even more special. From the powerful waterfalls to the vast glaciers, black sand beaches, and hidden ice caves. Iceland's landscapes are as diverse as they are breathtaking. The country's natural beauty invites you to explore, to get lost in its wonders, and to discover places that most people will never have the chance to see. And along the way, you might just hear a story or two about elves that remind you that, in Iceland, nature isn't just something to see, something to believe in. Iceland is a place that will get your heart racing, even if you're not the typical thrill seeker. While the country is famous for its hot springs and tranquil landscapes, it's also a dream destination for adventure lovers. From glacier hiking to ice climbing, Iceland is packed with adrenaline-pumping activities that will push you to your limits and leave you with unforgettable memories. Whether you're looking to experience the raw power of nature or simply want to try something out of your comfort zone, Iceland offers countless ways to get your blood pumping. One of the most popular adventure activities in Iceland is glacier hiking. Iceland is home to some of the largest glaciers in Europe, and exploring these frozen giants on foot is an experience you won't find anywhere else. Hiking across a glacier is both exhilarating and humbling. The cold, crisp air and the rugged terrain make you feel like you're stepping into a different world. Many tours offer the chance to hike across glaciers like Vatnajökull, the largest ice cap in Iceland, or Kull, which is more accessible for beginners. The guides are experts, ensuring your safety while teaching you about the glacier's history and unique features. As you walk across the ice, you'll notice deep crevasses and sparkling blue ice, which makes the whole experience even more magical. For those looking for an even bigger rush, ice climbing is another must-try activity in Iceland. If you've never tried ice climbing before, Iceland is a great place to start. The glaciers offer ideal conditions for beginners and experts alike. You'll be equipped with ice axes, crampons, and all the gear you need to scale frozen waterfalls or steep ice walls. It's a physically demanding activity that requires both strength and technique, but it's also incredibly rewarding. The feeling of reaching the top after climbing a frozen waterfall is hard to describe it, as a combination of triumph, excitement, and awe at the raw power of nature. Whether you're a seasoned climber or a first-timer, ice climbing in Iceland is an experience you'll never forget. If you want to try something a little faster-paced, snowmobiling on a glacier is an exciting option. Imagine racing across a vast, snow-covered expanse, the wind whipping through your hair as you zip along the ice on a powerful snowmobile. Snowmobiling tours are popular on glaciers like Langkell and Myrtlzukul, where you can cover miles of stunning terrain. It's an adventure that's both thrilling and beautiful, as you get to explore the glacier's vast, remote areas while feeling the adrenaline surge through you. You don't need prior snowmobiling experience to join a tour. The guides provide instructions and ensure everyone stays safe while having a blast. Another unique adventure activity in Iceland is diving in Thingvellir National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thingvellir is famous for being the site where the Eurasian and North American tectonic plates meet. The Silfur Fissure, located in the park, offers the opportunity to dive between these two plates in crystal clear water. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience to swim between two continents in water, so pure that you can see up to 100 meters ahead of you. The cold water, which is around 2 degrees Celsius, might sound intimidating, but with the right gear, it's an unforgettable adventure. The feeling of floating between two tectonic plates is surreal, and the underwater landscape is just as stunning, with deep cracks, vibrant moss, and fascinating rock formations. Of course, not all Icelandic adventures involve extreme sports or technical skills. Iceland also offers incredible hiking opportunities for those who prefer a more leisurely, but still exciting outdoor experience. The Logavor Trail, one of the most famous hiking routes in Iceland, takes you through some of the country's most scenic landscapes, including volcanic deserts, colorful mountains, and lush valleys. The hike is challenging, but incredibly rewarding, with opportunities to relax in natural hot springs along the way. It's a perfect mix of adventure, relaxation, and breathtaking views, making it an ideal activity for nature lovers. Iceland's spirit of adventure isn't limited to just these activities. The country offers a wide range of options for outdoor enthusiasts, from horseback riding across rugged terrain to kayaking in serene lakes and rivers. You can even explore lava caves and volcanic craters, experiencing the country's volcanic activity up close, whether you're hiking, snowshoeing, or simply exploring the countryside on foot. There's no shortage of ways to connect with Iceland's wild beauty. Now, I'll admit that when I first visited Iceland, I wasn't quite prepared for the level of adventure that awaited me. I signed up for a glacier hiking tour, thinking it would be a nice, easy walk across a bit of snow. I quickly realized how wrong I was. The terrain was far more challenging than I had imagined, with steep slopes, icy patches, and the constant need to use ice axes for stability. At one point I slipped and nearly fell, but luckily my guide was there to help me get back on track. Despite the tough parts, it was one of the most thrilling experiences of my life. The feeling of reaching the summit and looking out over the glacier was worth every slip and slide. It was an experience I'll never forget, and it reminded me that sometimes the best adventures are the ones that push you out of your comfort zone. What makes Iceland such a special destination for adventure is the variety of activities it offers. Whether you're looking for something extreme, like ice climbing or snowmobiling, or something a little more relaxed, like hiking or diving, there's something for every kind of adventurer. And despite the challenges that some activities might present, Iceland's natural beauty makes every moment feel worth it. The landscapes are so stunning that even the most demanding adventures feel like they re part of a bigger, awe-inspiring experience. Iceland is a place where you can push your limits, try new things, and discover the true spirit of adventure. The country has wild landscapes and unique activities, create the perfect environment for anyone who loves the outdoors and wants to experience something new. Whether you're trekking across glaciers, diving between tectonic plates, or simply enjoying a hike through volcanic terrain, Iceland offers adventures like no other place on Earth. And even if you're not prepared for everything that comes your way, Iceland will still make it an unforgettable experience. Iceland isn't just a place you visit for a few days or weeks. It's a place where people live year-round. Life in Iceland comes with its unique rhythm, shaped largely by the country's extreme daylight cycles. While the winters can be long and tough, the summer months offer something truly special. The long, bright days when the sun barely sets make up for the dark, cold nights of winter. This year-round lifestyle might sound challenging to some, but for Icelanders, it's just a part of what makes their home so unique. One of the most fascinating aspects of life in Iceland is the daylight cycle, which changes dramatically throughout the year. In the summer, you experience the midnight sun, where the sun doesn't set for weeks. It's a strange and magical phenomenon. Imagine walking outside at 2 a.m. and still seeing the sky glowing, as if it's just another afternoon. The extended daylight hours can make everything feel a little more vibrant, and people often take advantage of this extra light to stay active and social. It's not uncommon to see people out and about late into the evening, enjoying the warm weather and long days. The midnight sun isn't just a fun fact for visitors, it's a way of life for Icelanders. With so much daylight, the summer months are a time of celebration, outdoor activities, and festivals. People in Iceland take full advantage of the sunshine by engaging in outdoor sports, hiking, and spending time with family and friends. It's a time of energy and activity, with many Icelanders working hard to make the most of the daylight hours. The extended daylight can also affect the way people sleep, since the sun doesn't set. Some people use blackout curtains to create a normal sleeping environment, while others learn to adapt to the unusual light, going to bed and waking up according to their own schedules. However, the flip side of the midnight sun is the long, dark winter nights. In the winter months, especially from November to January, daylight can be as little as 4 hours a day, and even those hours are dim and gray. It can feel gloomy and isolating, especially for people who are used to more sunlight. Icelanders have learned to cope with the lack of daylight in several ways. For one, they embrace the cozy concept of hike, which is all about creating a warm, inviting space to relax in during the cold, dark days. People gather around with friends and family, enjoy hearty meals, and indulge in cozy comforts like hot drinks and blankets. Another way Icelanders deal with the long winter months is by staying active. Many people take part in winter sports like skiing, snowboarding, and ice skating. It's also common to see people hiking, even during the winter, as long as the conditions are safe. The Icelandic approach to winter is all about embracing the season, no matter how tough it might be. This resilience is a big part of the Icelandic way of life. Even though the winter can be long and dark, Icelanders know how to find joy and community in those months, whether through outdoor activities or indoor gatherings. Iceland's winter also brings with it the chance to witness the Northern Lights, one of nature's most stunning displays. For those living in Iceland, the dark winter nights offer the perfect backdrop for this magical phenomenon. The lights create a sense of wonder and beauty, making the long nights feel a little more special. It's one of those things that Icelanders take pride in, and many people look forward to seeing the Northern Lights each year. It's a reminder of the natural beauty that surrounds them, even during the darkest months. Another interesting aspect of living in Iceland year-round is how people embrace the ever-changing weather. The weather in Iceland is famously unpredictable, and it's not uncommon to experience all 4 seasons in a single day. One moment, the sun can be shining brightly, and the next, you might be caught in a snowstorm. Icelanders have learned to adapt to this, always prepared for whatever weather comes their way. The saying, "If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes," is a common phrase in Iceland, and it perfectly sums up the ever-changing conditions. This adaptability is built into the Icelandic lifestyle. People dress in layers, always ready for whatever the weather might bring, and they understand that planning outdoor activities requires flexibility. Despite the challenges posed by the daylight cycles and unpredictable weather, Icelanders have a deep connection to their environment. They are incredibly resourceful, and their way of life is deeply tied to the land, the weather, and the changing seasons. In fact, this connection to nature is one of the things that makes Iceland such a special place to live. The dramatic landscapes, the constantly shifting weather, and the unique daylight cycles all play a role in shaping Icelandic culture and daily life. Icelanders take pride in living in a place where the natural world is so present in their lives, and they've learned to thrive despite the challenges that come with it. In addition to the physical aspects of living in Iceland, the country also offers a unique social environment. Iceland is a small country with a close-knit population, and the sense of community is incredibly strong. People in Iceland look out for one another, and there is a real sense of connection that comes from living in a place where everyone knows each other. Even though the weather can be tough and the winters long, the people of Iceland have a positive outlook. Finding strength and joy in their surroundings and each other, the long summer days and long winter nights help bring people together. Whether they're celebrating the midnight sun or making the most of the northern lights. Living in Iceland year-round may not be for everyone, but for those who choose it, it offers a unique and fulfilling experience. The mix of long, bright summer days and short, dark winter nights shapes the way people live, work, and socialize. Icelanders have learned to embrace the challenges of their environment and have found ways to make the most of both the beauty and the hardships that come with it. Whether it's the magical daylight of summer or the cozy winter nights, Iceland's year-round lifestyle is something that reflects both the resilience and the joy that the Icelandic people bring to every season. Iceland isn't just a place, it's an experience that challenges everything you think you know about life. From its rich sauna culture to its stunning natural wonders and unique social norms, Iceland has a way of opening your eyes to new possibilities. It's a country that invites you to step outside your comfort zone and embrace both the beauty and the wildness of nature. Whether it's soaking in one of Iceland's geothermal hot springs, hiking across a glacier, or diving between tectonic plates, the country offers countless ways to connect with its raw power and charm. What makes Iceland truly special is its ability to blend adventure, relaxation, and a deep respect for nature. The mix of dramatic landscapes, from volcanoes to waterfalls and glaciers, is breathtaking. At the same time, Icelanders have an unmatched approach to life. From their laid-back attitudes toward nudity and social interactions, to their ability to embrace the challenges of long winters with a smile. The country's unique culture, which values personal freedom, respect for the environment, and a sense of humor, creates a place where everyone feels welcome to be themselves. Iceland's openness is what sets it apart from many other places. It's a country where the weird is embraced and the concept of personal freedom is celebrated. The sauna culture, for example, is a perfect reflection of this open-mindedness. The idea of being yourself, no matter how unusual it might seem, is woven into everyday life. It's a country that teaches you to step outside your usual norms, whether you're enjoying the midnight sun or trying something as bold as visiting a sex sauna. Iceland tea about fitting in it. S about embracing who you are and finding joy in the natural wonders around you. So, what do you think? Would you be brave enough to step into one of Iceland's hottest springs? Or perhaps try one of the famous sex saunas? Iceland is a place that invites you to let go of expectations and explore a side of life that's both strange and beautiful. Whether you're here for the adventure, the culture, or the simple joy of living in a place where nature rules, Iceland offers something unique for everyone. Before you start planning your next trip, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever thought about traveling to a place where the weird is embraced and the sauna is always hot? What part of Iceland's wild side would you explore first? Let's talk about it.